Hey there, friends and foes. Good morning, multiverse. This is Back of the Cereal Box, the pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturdays of our youth while navigating adulthood today. And this morning, we're going to be talking about the forgotten classic, maybe one of the most underrated animated shows of all time, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. And we are going to do that right after this.
Saturday morning, it's fun for all. Cartoons and cereal, let's have a ball. Comic books, kaiju, pro wrestling too. The fun is waiting for you. Back of the cereal box.
All right, friends and foes. I am of an age where we did not have iPhones or tablets at the breakfast table. We were sitting down with big bowls of cereal, and we were literally reading the back of the cereal box as we ate the cereal. That was our newspaper. And in between cereal, we were watching cartoons, reading comic books, watching kaiju movies, sometimes pro wrestling, kung fu movies. And that was our world as a kid. That back of the cereal box was our world. And that's why we're called Back of the Cereal Box. I'm Johnny, your host, the prophet of pop culture. You can call me Johnny Beyond if you dare. And I love the topic that we're going to be talking about, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. But Avengers comics and Star Wars movies made me who I am today. And I'm super excited to be welcoming in some a special guest this morning. But before we do that, it is your wife's favorite diplomatic archaeologist from a dystopic future, amazing cosplayer. Please put your hands together for Aubrey Cavett as Hannah Dundee.
Good morning. Who's ready to survive this morning?
Aubrey, that's great, Aubrey. And thankfully, you got an easy one this week because Hannah's pretty easy to do. That's
you know what though?
From your closet.
I did not have one red long sleeve poppable collar in my whole wardrobe. Not one, guys. I dug everywhere.
Well, and many of our fans are seeing for the first time your tattoos.
Yes, for the first time. But you should go back and watch some past episodes. There was a few glances here and there.
That is fantastic. Hey, we have a very special guest with us this morning. I'm super excited. He tagged us in a post on Facebook this week, and I was like, "Oh, you got to be on the show." Because he posted all these images of our topic, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. And so I said, Clyde, you got to be on the show. He's been a guest before. He is a regular part of the Multiverse fundraiser. And he is one of the co-hosts of Comic Book Spectrum on the Rising Tide podcast network. Please put your hands together for geek historian, comic book fanatic, Clyde Hall, the elder statesman of geekery. And
Thank you.
Aubrey, it is Clyde's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Clyde!
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. You live in a zoo. You look like a monkey and you smell like one too.
I wouldn't know. But thank you for being here this morning, Clyde.
Thank you for having me.
So
what a great way to celebrate a birthday.
Right?
Yes.
Cereal and talking about a very old cartoon that, well, for me, it's very old. I had no idea it existed, so I can't wait.
Well, so most people that are going to be watching this morning don't remember this show. It is maybe the most underrated animated show of Saturday mornings, and it's got a long convoluted history that we're going to get into. And even Clyde was like, I'm aware of this, but I don't know anything about it. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I kept missing it. You know, I remember I sold Xenozoic Tales comic books over the counter at the comic book shop in the 90s. I read a few of them, but it kind of dropped you in the middle, and I didn't get it. Then I saw, oh, there's a cartoon, but my daughter didn't watch it. She was busy with Power Rangers and other things. And then we did role play games all through the 90s, but we played Twilight 2000, but Game Designers Workshop made a role play game based on it. Did I know about that or ever? No, we never did that. So I missed it. I missed it until now. Thanks to John.
We're gonna take a deep dive into Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, but before we do that, we have to acknowledge our Cereal Box Super Friends. They make this show possible with a generous donation every month on patreon.com/cerealboxpodcast. And for just $1 a month, you get early access to new episodes and bonus content. At $2 a month, you get to join us live on air, on camera, like a call-in show. So if you're watching this and you are a Patreon right now, you got the link in the latest post. You can come on for a few minutes.
Come join us.
Yeah. And at the VIP level, like Dennis and Eli Cash, you get to host your own show once a month. Ooh. So that's a pretty awesome perk. So check that out, patreon.com/cerealboxpodcast. And I am going to have the banner running below during the show, so that will remind you as we go. And we are also brought to you by the Tales of the Decoverse series, the newest edition, Rise of the Impossibilists, Volume 3, by yours truly, John B. Pyka. And Aubrey, I've not read those myself, but everyone says they're great. Oh. So first questions first. I opened up by saying that as kids, we were reading the back of the cereal box on Saturday morning. And so it is the first thing we have to ask is, what's in the bowl? And Aubrey's super excited about this. Now, Clyde, do you have anything with you this morning? I see a bowl behind you.
I do. Actually, I was telling John before the show, I started to look into other Melmac children's dinnerware, because mine held up so well. I thought, well, there's surely more out there. They're not that expensive, and I don't have any that were like cartoon based. So I went out after the last multiverse fundraiser, and I picked up Yogi Bear.
I'm going to bring you center stage. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
I remember those.
Yeah. And
oh, wow.
I've even seen that one. Oh my gosh, that's great.
What were the name of those mice? I forget.
Pixie and
Dixie. Yeah.
And Mr. Jinx was their kitty, and he's one of the characters on the plate too there.
Yes.
Amongst all the
and oh my goodness.
And then you got Huckleberry Hound Cup.
Huckleberry Hound. Oh my goodness.
Well, I declare.
I
believe that's a Huckleberry Hound on that cup.
Yes, but, the melamine or melamin. People say it differently. It's such a good thing to still have, and those bowls and those plates are really hard to find sometimes.
Melamin and Melmac are the two names that they kind of the chemical names that they used in different ones. These are Melmac, but I was looking for Pep cereal. They don't make it anymore, but it's wheat, and so wheat brand. I went with the raisin brand this morning.
So in just a minute, Clyde, Aubrey and I are going to do a side-by-side taste test of Crumble and Cookie Crisps, because Crumble 2 weeks ago, let's go ahead and prep this. 2 weeks ago, we did a taste test of Crumble. It was awful. It got -2 bowls of cereal on my scale of 1 to 5. And Aubrey couldn't believe that I didn't like it. And I said, well, because it's trying to be Cookie Crisp. So we're going to do side by side. So as Aubrey prepares her bowls with the milk and the cereal, show us that Pep box that you showed me. Check this out, Aubrey.
So the original Pep came in boxes like this, which is pretty bland, but on the side, look, comic character buttons, which were comic strip characters for your premiums. And also, they were big into promoting Superman, advertisements for Superman. So you had a whole Superman adventure on the back that you could read. And in this particular box, you could, if you picked the right one off the shelf, you could get your own. Whoop, come here. These are so small. I was really surprised at how tiny these are. But
oh my God, I have one. That's the one I have. That's the Phantom.
Yep, you have a Phantom pin, yeah.
I ordered a Phantom pin because I saw that and went, ooh, I'm a Phantom fan. I got to get that. So I've got one coming, but it's not here yet. And on the other side here is Kellogg's Pep.
I love this. I love that. See, kids, when I say we were reading comic books on the back of the cereal box, I ain't lying. All right. So, Aubrey.
Okay. We have to do separate bowls.
Well, I did.
So I'm going to. You did. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with one bowl, and the other bowl might arrive magically in a moment.
Okay.
We'll see.
We're gonna start.
Again. Oh, look! It's magically arriving.
We're gonna start with crumble. So let's refresh our taste buds with this horror. All right. Get the crumble.
Oh boy. See the way he talks about this stuff. All right. For the record, crumble cookie, I like your cookies. Oh, there's the face again. There's the face again. All right. So I am pouring it into the bowl. Why does it look like it's digital? What is it?
And with the almond milk, it tastes like there's this weird plastic aftertaste.
Okay, so
like
for the record, we have different milk this morning because I have vanilla soy milk.
That's what I have. Oh, I have vanilla almond milk. But
Johnny, you look like somebody that was taking the Pepsi challenge and got a hold of Barks root beer.
That would make you make that face. That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
Okay, so now I've reminded myself how awful that is. Aubrey, is it better or worse than you remember from 2 weeks ago?
Okay, I'm not going to deny with the whole milk, it tasted weird. With the vanilla soy milk, it actually tastes pretty good. No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, Johnny and I don't always agree on everything.
Well,
but I don't agree with everything either. Like the fact that the character in this cartoon has black lips on the top. But we don't have to agree with everything that happens.
All right. So now it's time for Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp.
And Cookie Crisp is one of those cereals that, like this subject matter this morning, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, has a long sordid history. It's been through like 5 or 6 different mascots. Now we have Chip the Wolf. And the back of this cereal box, I don't know about yours, Aubrey, but all it has is a QR code to scan for John Legend's music. Oh, you actually have a game.
I got a game
with Chip and what's the Cocoa Puffs bird? Cuckoo, the
and Trix and the bunny. The Trix bunny too.
Oh, yeah. I'm like really jealous. Here, wait, hold on. I'm gonna bring that up center stage. Look at that.
Sunny, and you got Trix rabbit. Yeah,
that looks fun.
Yes, it is. And
I want to play this now. Wait, hold on, real quick. Find a path to the bowl of Cookie Crisp by only moving across cookies with an odd number of chips. Ooh, math and fun. I hate math, so make it fun and yay. All right. Thank you, Cookie Crisp. A game on the back of this box. All right.
So for those of you who have forgotten, crumble tastes like coffee flavored sawdust with a hint of burnt vanilla.
But if you eat it dry with coffee,
and then a styrofoam aftertaste. So here we go with Cookie Crisp. Cookie Crisp is from General Mills. And go ahead, Aubrey.
Okay, the crunch, amazing.
Yeah. Now, it is 100 times better than crumble. It does have these. It does look like chocolate chip cookies. So I'm going to bring this up, see if you guys can see this. It looks like tiny little chocolate chip cookies. And it tastes a lot like Chips Ahoy cookies. There we go. It tastes a lot like Chips Ahoy, but not real Chips Ahoy.
Okay. Okay, that shocked me for a moment where I was the only one on the screen. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it as much as I remember.
Well, they've changed the recipe significantly since we were kids. When I was a kid, this was one of my favorites because we talked about this last week. I love chocolate chip cookies, dunking them in the milk. And that's like one of my favorite. As a matter of fact, Wednesday night, I had Chips Ahoy. But Chips Ahoy is not the best cookie.
No. Well, Chips Ahoy has that almost been in the oven slightly too long. Just almost like it's not burnt, but it's like that cookie that's just been in teeny bit crispy.
I like crispy cookies.
Oh.
I don't like these soft, chewy, soft batch cookies because they don't hold milk. The crispier the cookie, the better it absorbs the milk because it's porous.
Realize now why Johnny doesn't like crumble cookies cereal, because he likes the crispy cookie. So that's the secret, guys. It's crumble. It's not about you. It's not. It's about preference. It really is.
He wants sponge-worthy cookies.
He wants that crunch. He doesn't want the foamy, you fall apart at the end. Some people like a cookie just melt in your mouth. Johnny wants it to crunch in your mouth.
Yeah, I do. Because it's better for dipping in the milk.
So it's a texture thing.
No, not really. Not really. I mean, I'll eat any cookie because I love cookies. But I prefer, like Oreo cookies. Oreo cookies are great to dunk in the milk. Aubrey's choking on cereal. Someone give her the Heimlich.
So, yeah, right? My midriff showing over here. No, seriously, I have to say, I want to try the Cookie Crisp with regular milk because that would do it justice. I don't have any regular milk this morning. It went bad. We opened it and I was like, oh, that went bad July 10th. Oops. We don't drink a lot of whole milk in this house. So, but the crumble cookie tasted one way with the whole milk. And then it tasted different with the soy vanilla milk.
Yeah.
I bet you the Cookie Crisp would taste different as my tummy grumbles loudly. I hope the microphone didn't catch that. Obviously, I'm going to eat more cereal now.
Well, I like the Cookie Crisp a lot more than the crumble. Is it in my top 5? No. If we weren't doing this side-by-side comparison this morning, I probably would not have bought Cookie Crisp because it's a General Mills cereal, and I'm not very kind to General Mills, Clyde.
Oh.
You guys have seen previous episodes where we've reviewed the horrible monster cereals, and the only good cereal that General Mills produces is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's brilliant. But anyway, so Clyde, remind us again what you had. You have kind of this Raisin Bran.
I have Raisin Bran because that's the closest I could get to my Pep box, my Repro Prep box. Pep box.
And I've not had Raisin Bran in years, but
What?
I remember actually liking it even as a kid. There was something about those bran flakes that, again, the crispy crunchiness of the bran flakes that I love.
That texture. No, see, for me, the the raisins always disappeared in the box. If you let me get to the Raisin Bran, I'm not gonna lie. I don't lie to you guys as fans. I don't lie to anybody as far as the food goes. If I was that kid, I either had sugar with my Raisin Bran because I was usually at my grandma's or a cousin's house. Because I'm not gonna lie, we didn't have it in the house, or there were no raisins left in that box by the time I got done with it. So don't leave me alone with your Raisin Bran, or bring me a bag of raisins.
Well, now you can buy Raisin Bran without the raisins.
Mm-hmm. What?
Mm-hmm.
What? Blasphemy.
It's just called Bran Flakes, which I like better. Oh. I'm not a fan of raisins.
Aubrey, I hear you. I hear your pain. I did the same thing. I brought home
Clyde, I love when me and a guest connect, and we just did extra raisins, man. I would fist bump you. If
I wasn't about to get skunked by a bowl full of flakes, so.
I know sometimes you pour it, and you're like, 4 raisins? Really?
Yeah.
4.
And then you get down to the bottom, and it's like, there's no cereal. This is all raisins by the time you get down to that part. So
see, I would be the kid that was be like, 4 raisins. Get them out of there.
Johnny would be the kid who's like throwing them in our bowl. Yeah, I'll get you. I got
it. All right, so Aubrey.
Across the table, we're all in trouble.
So Aubrey, on a scale of 1 to 5 bowls, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, where do you rank Cookie Crisp, especially against Crumble?
Ooh, okay, I think with Crumble, I gave it like 2 bowls and a spoon, wasn't it? Something like that was the rating. Go back and slap my hand if I'm wrong, guys. I don't mind. But I'm gonna say Cookie Crisp with at least a half a spoon for nostalgia is at least a 3 for me. A solid 3. A solid 3. Now I might change it if I have whole milk. So it's a tentative 3.
I'm gonna go along with you. I'm gonna say 3. Right solidly in the middle. As it goes on, as it gets more saturated by the milk, it tastes more and more like chocolate chip cookies. So it gets better as you go. But solid 3 compared to the -2. -2. Solid 3. Cookie Crisp is the superior cereal. And Clyde, on a scale of 1 to 5 bowls, what would you give Raisin Bran, the classic?
Classic Raisin Bran. I've liked it as a kid, like it as an adult. I can't have all the sugary, kind of cereals. So there's a lot of those that are off the chart. I can't have those at all. So it's like my favorite. I give it a 4. Grape Nuts. And I was a weird kid. I like Grape Nuts.
I did too.
That's like a 5. That's the standard that everything is judged by. That's not a sweet cereal. So Grape Nuts are my favorite, but Raisin Bran 4, solid 4.
All right, very good, very good. Well, we have some audience comments that this is Aubrey's favorite part of the show, and Aubrey finally got to meet Dave Mattingly in person, and he says, "Good morning, Box Tops."
Good morning.
Dave Mattingly adds, "Today I'll be reliving the 80s at the Totally Tubular Festival to see Men Without Hats, Wang Chung, the Thompson Twins, Modern English, Thomas Dolby, and more." Wang Chung. Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And Dave Mattingly says, "Welcome, Elder Clyde."
Thanks, Dave. Well, that's true. I was telling John, this is my 62nd birthday. So, what better way to spend your Social Security birthday, reliving your childhood, earlier times, and being on a Saturday morning back of the breakfast box podcast. So I can't think of anything more childlike than that, and anything I enjoy more.
and Clyde, when you get to be our level, I'm 10 years behind you, but we don't age. We level up. So Clyde Hall is a level 62 elder geek statesman. That's badass. That's pretty badass.
Thank you. Thank you.
Zentron is joining us from across the pond. He says, "Good afternoon, fellow cereal boxers."
Good
And
afternoon, Zentron.
he is coming at us live from his secret headquarters at the old Eddingham Munition Works in Scotland.
Oh,
Scotland.
Nice.
And Dave Mattingly says there's a role-playing game called Bronchosaurus Rex that was possibly inspired by Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Do you think, Dave?
Cool.
And Dave says, "I love the Schoolhouse Rock shirt, Clyde."
Thank you. Thank you.
And he got to see Schoolhouse Rock live last year.
Ah, cool.
You know what, Aubrey? That was supposed to be one of the cartoon karaoke songs last week, and I forgot. I'm just
you did it.
Bill.
No, you did it.
I?
You did. Yep, I was rewatching the episode.
Okay.
And I was going to say it, but instead of saying, I was like, come on, because who wouldn't know that?
Conjunction,
the words, and I knew it was.
What's that function? Or what were so interjection? Yeah, I love Schoolhouse Rock. It's really great. All right, so Andrew Milden just got here, and he says, "Is this Crumble cereal?" It is. It is, Drew.
Round
again.
two.
It's for the we did it 2 weeks ago, and I said we have to compare it against Cookie Crisp, and that's what we just did. And he says it's Sunny the Cocoa Bird.
Sunny the Cocoa Bird.
Or Cuckoo Bird.
Cuckoo Bird. Cuckoo.
Sunny.
Cocoa Bird.
Sunny.
Because he's cuckoo for Cocoa Bird.
Yesterday life was so... how is that? Those lyrics go. Sunny.
Oh, great. Now you got a brain worm in me. I'm going to be listening to that song after we get off the podcast.
And our VIP member, Eli T. Cash, is joining us. It says, "It sounds like everything is better than Crumble."
Everything. No, according to Johnny.
It's the absolute worst cereal I've ever had in my entire life. By the way, I ate that entire bag of mango peach Cheerios on the ride home from Imaginarium.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, what was left? Because I was given a Ziploc of it, which I still have been munching on.
That's what I'm talking about. Dave gave me a Ziploc of it. So.
Yeah, we all ended up eating that. Oh.
Yep. Zentron says, "I only had 2 apricot, or is it pronounced apricot, breakfast biscuits this morning. Now currently chowing down on a tune mayo barm." What? What? I don't...
Barm? Is
that supposed to be tuna?
Tuna, mayo.
Mayo? I guess a sandwich? I don't know.
I want to know what a barm is.
I don't understand all these Scottish food references.
I want an apricot breakfast biscuit. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Apricot is good with ham. Okay, wait, we're going on a little bit of a food tangent there.
Andrew Milden says, "A perfectly soaked raisin with some of the bran flakes is the perfect bite." Okay.
Oh, Andrew, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
And man. Dave Mattingly is right with me. I swear, Dave and I are psychic twins because he says, "I'd rather buy Raisin Bran without the bran." Oh, no.
Dave, well, what about your wife? How does she eat her Raisin Bran?
No, so he's saying he would rather just have the raisins. I'm the opposite. I want the Raisin Bran without the raisins. But he wants it without the bran.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
You know what I like to do? Whenever I go to the grocery store, whether I need it or not, I buy a 12-pack of toilet paper just so that I can ask the cashier this judgment question. So, do you think I have enough toilet paper for the amount of groceries that I bought? And she'll be like, "I don't know. Are you going to eat the Raisin Bran right away?"
What, Johnny?
Eli T. Cash says, "If I were that kid, yeah, the story of my life." And Andrew Millen says, "Oops, all raisins."
That would be a funny gag. I'm just saying. You don't have to have a lot of boxes, but just do one box You have to make it a little bit of raisins because the weight, but like make it like there's a ticket in there. So like if you get the box of just raisins, you like win a trip to meet the people who make raisin bread. I don't know. Like they should do this though. This sounds like a gimmick they need to do.
You go meet the California raisins. How much longer could she
Wait.
be
No, I want to sign up for that one though.
Heard it through the grapevine. Anyway, Eli T. Cash also says, "Oh man, the front and design of Crumble pretty much says it all." Yes, it does.
Okay, so yeah, it's
pretty boring.
Kind of sad.
Yeah.
This looks like a cereal made for grown-ups. That's
and
it's a little
and it tastes like a cereal made for hound dogs.
My mom occasionally. Mom used to get the generic, not even a brand, the generic bag of puffed rice. That would be my -2 kind of cereal. Could you have it? Yes. Would you want it? No. Oh God, no.
Like air, toasted air.
Wait. See, I love plain old original Rice Krispies cereal.
Yeah, but that's not
fine.
That's not those puffed wheat things.
Puffed rice is
that's what Rice Krispies is. It's puffed rice.
Yeah, but it's crispy puffed rice, and the regular one, they just there's no crunch.
A difference.
Oh okay. Yeah. No, they're like a soft gel tablet.
Ooh, like boiled peanuts.
It tastes like foam. It tastes a little bit
like foam. Yeah, styrofoam's got nothing on those.
Okay, if you were the kid that was like, I double dog dare you, you tasted styrofoam at least once.
Oh yeah.
Those things taste like styrofoam.
Yep.
Hey, look who's joining us. It's Caterade Comedy. Hey, how's it going, cereal friends? And Chris Vaglio is joining us. Yo, what's up, breakfast party people? And Chris is going to see Deadpool Wolverine at 12:15 today.
Oh, I'm so jelly. I need a partner, a friend, somebody who likes to go to the movies. I love to go to the movies. I want to see that movie so bad.
I saw it last night.
Don't do it, Johnny. I see your face. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, please.
Yeah, it's a movie that was made. I saw it.
Oh, wait, did you like the first?
No.
Okay. Well, that's
1 and 2 were horrible.
Well, it's okay then, because I liked both of those. Ryan Reynolds. I'm just so glad that Daddy has come home for this movie. No.
And Zentron did say that should have read tuna mayo barm. I still don't know what a barm is. Someone Google that.
Define Zentron.
Oh, barm is a bread roll. Okay.
Is it a rye roll? Like rye. Ooh, tuna on rye is good. Ooh, now I'm hungrier.
Chris Vaglio says, watching you all right now with a big bowl of fruity Magic Spoon cereal, which is awesome, by the way.
I have never tried that.
Well, it's expensive, but it's healthy. That's my day-to-day cereal. Breakfast every morning is Magic Spoon cereal. I wish they were a sponsor of the show, as much as I promote them. 0 carbs, 0 wheat, 0 sugar, 0 soy. It's none of the bad stuff and all of the flavor of.
I would try all of the flavors if they would even give us $1 a month.
Yeah, peanut butter, chocolate. The chocolate is the best chocolate cereal I've ever had, which you tried, Aubrey, and you didn't like the chocolate.
That's the only cereal I tried, but I'd be willing to give them all another go. Especially
peanut butter is the best peanut butter cereal I've ever had, and the fruity. It's all great. It's all great. Golly, we got so many comments here. We're going to try to get through. This is funny. Chris Vaglio says, tastes like cereal made for hound dogs is the quote of the month, LOL. It tastes like what I imagine dog kibble tastes like.
Oh, we should try and see if the dog would eat it. Where's your fuzzy?
No, it would kill it. It would kill the dog.
Oh, you think is it real chocolate?
No, but look, there is nothing in here that is good for, oh wait, maybe this explains why it tastes so bad. It is, the ingredients are, talking about crumble, whole grain oat flour, degerminated yellow cornmeal, sugar, brown sugar, syrup, 2% or less of salt, caramel color, tricalcium phosphate. That's what I'm tasting. The tricalcium phosphate.
You can taste that?
Oh, sure. I mean, okay, the ingredients are probably okay for dogs. It's probably actually better than the kibble.
But if there's real chocolate in there, no.
No, there's not. There's no chocolate at all listed as an ingredient.
Maybe that's part of the problem.
Be careful of the sweeteners, because there are some like peanut butter sweeteners now they use that. Peanut butter used to be good for dogs. Some of it still is, but you have to be careful because some of it's not. So.
Yeah.
You know what dogs can eat?
What's that?
Magic Spoon cereal.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Even the chocolate cereal, because there's no chocolate in it.
Really?
It tastes like real chocolate, but there's no real chocolate in it. Yeah. Anyway, so we need to get to our main topic, and we'll continue to address audience comments as we go along. But this is truly in line with Saturday Morning 102. Saturday Morning 102 is our current series where we are discussing and discovering some more obscure shows, but still what I would consider essential. They're not like the top tier. They're the B and C list, but really impactful. And so this morning we are talking about Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Woo-hoo.
Now, Aubrey,
Mm-hmm.
had you ever heard of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs before this week?
Oh, no, definitely not.
I gave you 2 weeks, right? So
yes,
2 weeks ago I said, yeah. Were you a bad co-host, Aubrey?
I was very distractible lately. Yeah, I do have other things that that I do, but I do try to keep up the way I can. I do have a nice backdrop and my costume is on. I only did get to watch 2 episodes though.
That's okay. That's okay. So you can
yes.
You can be like Clyde and be a representative of the audience and ask questions, because I am, quite frankly, obsessed with this show. Tale of the Tape. And Clyde, you mentioned before that you were aware but never really watched it or paid attention. So
right.
For those of you who don't know, I'm just going to pop this up here while we do the Tale of the Tape. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is an animated television series produced by D'Souza Productions, Galaxy Films, and Nelvana. That's important. Remember that. Which aired on CBS as part of its Saturday morning lineup from 1993 to 1994. It lasted only 1 season of 13 episodes. It's based on the Xenozoic Tales by Mark Schultz. That was a comic book series published by Kitchen Sink Press. And the show was created by screenwriter Stephen E. D'Souza, who acquired the TV rights after producing the video game Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which was also based on Schultz's comic. The show dealt with many strong ecological and political issues that were central to the plot development. So basically, here's what we have. And I'm going to go through some of these images as we discuss the convoluted history of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Started as a comic series published by Kitchen Sink Press. That's harder to say than you might think. And this came out in 1989, Aubrey. And Kitchen Sink Press was a small indie press that only certain comic book dealers carried. And you had to get it through comic shops or directly by mail order from the company. It was not mass distributed. And only 14 issues were ever published. So 14 issues, and it would later go on to be reprinted by Marvel Comics under their Epic Comics line. There's number 4 of the Epic Comics. And then it was picked up by Topps, who reprinted it again. And then Dark Horse Comics picked it up after Topps, and they reprinted it in 2 collected graphic novel editions, trade paperback editions. And now it's with IDW. IDW Comics and Publishing has the IP. But 14 issues is all we did. And it spawned the Sega Genesis. Excuse me. Aubrey, your vape has got me choking. So
it's a secret, Johnny.
Yeah, everybody saw your secret on air. So Sega Genesis created a video game. Then they followed that up with Capcom did a video game for PC, the PC arcade series. And then Sega followed it up with another game on Sega CD. And these are some of the screenshots of the game. Actually, for late 80s, early 90s, I mean, this was peak Sega.
It really was.
Yeah.
And it was a side-scroller, fighting game, basically.
The funny thing is when I went to click on the show link to go find the cartoon that you had sent me.
Yeah.
I accidentally clicked on this because right next to it was video game play. So I'm waiting for the show to boot up. And meanwhile, they're showing this video game entrance. And I'm like, wait, what? So I'm like watching that for like 15 minutes. I'm like, wait, this isn't the show? This isn't the... Oh, I'm so entranced because I was that girl. I was the one paying my quarters to play video games inside. Yes.
Well, and here is the cabinet game.
See, now that I bet if I had seen that before I saw the shit, I would have probably remembered because of I was that girl. I was in line with my quarters in a little stack, like I got $3 worth. Come on. You died 4 times. Give somebody else a shot.
Well, Clyde, I don't remember the cabinet arcade game. And I was even into the mid 90s. I was going to the arcade on a regular basis. I don't ever remember seeing this cabinet. Now I'm like on the hunt because I would love to have that.
We have adult video game like stores and places you can go now. Game Terminal. I've been there. I'm a huge geek, so like I want to go there. I want to spend my money playing pinball still to this day. I'm not joking. I'm like, I know I died a couple times, but there's like a dozen other machines in this place. You guys can find another one for a minute. I am on Elvira. I'm gonna be here till I win.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing the cabinet game of it. In fact, in making that post you were talking about, I found those images, similar images, and put them up there.
Well, some of them are the ones you sent.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know that, and I also didn't know most of the other things I had heard of or seen before, but the collector's card sets, which were very nice. I had not seen
from
those
Topps.
before. Yeah, which make when you said Topps is one of the companies, I'm like, yeah, well, that makes sense. But I don't remember ever seeing those cards, and they're nice. They're very, very.
Oh, I don't remember seeing those either, and now I want them.
Yeah.
Because I love collectible cards. I got obsessed with trading cards. Trading cards is what we called them when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I got obsessed with Star Wars. Star Wars cards from Topps, and it's one of the things that brings me pure joy, opening up a package of vintage trading cards. I bought a whole case of Young Indiana Jones trading cards and a whole case of Who Framed Roger Rabbit trading cards that I need to go through. I have a complete set of the Dick Tracy movie trading cards in a binder. I have a complete set of the Phantom movie trading cards in a binder. I love trading cards. I have a complete set of the A-Team trading cards.
Oh, I didn't know you liked the A-Team trading cards. Okay, so I found Batman, the A-Team, and there was some Garbage Pail Kids at a local shop, and they were unopened.
Oh yeah. Oh, you find them everywhere. It's really amazing. And if you do get them, you gotta try the gum. It's only 40 years old.
What do you mean? There's gum in there still?
Oh yeah. Yeah. They packaged gum in the trading cards. There was what Clyde, 6 trading cards, a sticker, and a stick of gum.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Yep.
Somebody's gonna have some old gum.
Well, so for those of you who have been watching the show for a long time, in season 2 of Back of the Cereal Box, Dee Barty and one of our guests actually tried 40-year-old gum from a pack of Rocketeer.
No, D, why?
I guess it's 30-year-old Rocketeer trading cards. But yeah. Oh, and it's rather funny to watch that. You know what? I might repost that this week.
I think that's a good idea. That sounds funny.
So this show was set in a post-apocalyptic future. We don't know. I don't know what really happened to the Earth. But it's what, 2176, I think. And basically civilization was destroyed, a la Thundar the Barbarian. And the Earth is reborn, dominated by dinosaurs, but there are tribes of humans that survived and have flourished. And one of them, the Old Mechanics, is led by Jack Tenrak. And Jack Tenrak is kind of like Han Solo meets Indiana Jones. You know, high adventure. And Jack Tenrak has some companions like Mustafa behind him, who's also one of the Old Mechanics. And Jack drives a classic Cadillac that has been modified with the far future technology, because I don't think it runs on gasoline anymore. It runs on some other kind of fuel, if I'm not mistaken. See, they don't really get into this too much. But Jack is accompanied by Hannah Dundee, who is also a scientist, kind of archaeologist, adventurer. And that's who Aubrey is portraying this morning.
Yes, I am.
I gotta tell you, for an archaeologist, for a scientist, diplomat, Hannah Dundee's got it going on.
He is definitely trying to have a fashion statement in this post-apocalyptic world.
Well, she is kind of, for those of you who are just listening, I would describe her as a cross between Betty Page and, name your favorite adventurer, Indiana Jones, or, what's her name from the Mummy movies, played by Rachel Weisz. You guys know who I'm talking about? Yeah.
The librarian.
Yeah. So Hannah Dunn and
Evelyn, Evie,
yeah. And Jack has an adversary in Hammer. Hammer is the blonde-haired mullet beefcake. And he's just, I couldn't really figure out Hammer's motivation. All throughout this series, he's taking orders from this mayor. Let me get the pronunciation correctly. She is part of she's part of the Council of Governors that rules the city in the sea. No, it's Governor Wilhelmina Skarnhorst. Skarnhorst.
Yeah.
She looks like a Skarn, and she talks like one too.
You
gotta get that Jack Tenrak.
She's got the granny goodness going on with her.
Yes, she does. and Granny Goodness apparently was smoking 6 packs of Marlboros a day. Get Jack Tenorak. He's going to ruin my capitalist domination plans. And here's Jack addressing the Council of Elders at the City of the Sea. And
Toulouse is one of the governors. That gentleman with the glasses, Toulouse.
Yeah. Yeah, and you notice just in this frame how different the styles are from person to person. This is one of the things I actually like about the show. There's not this one consistent fashion style, because it is far in the future. They're rebuilding society. By the way, the City and the Sea was New York City. And we see a shot of the New York City Library that's still standing in the center of the City of the Sea.
Yeah, we hear actually the character that I am dressed as trying, Hannah Dundee, trying to pronunciate New York City. Like, she's really trying hard. Like, they've lost language. They've lost literature.
And their whole existence is based on survival in a world where dinosaurs have, returned. They dominate the ecosystem, and except for this one, this is Jack Tenorak's pet velociraptor, Hermes, and Hermes is loyal to Jack. Here's they call this this is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but they call it the Civet. Civet. How did they come up with these names? Here's Hannah Dundee, coming face to face with Brachiosaurus, and the Brachiosaurus was called a tree grazer. And this is my favorite episode of the entire series, is when the Triceratops, who they called Max. They called these Max, where there was a herd of Max stampeding towards the city, and Jack and friends hop in their cars on their motorcycles, and they literally do a cattle drive to herd the Max away from the city.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that one governor just wants to kill them all.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful scene where Jack lays out why that is the worst possible thing they can do for their own benefit.
Yeah.
I love the ecological, because it was texted into the story. I mean, I appreciated Captain Planet, but it kind of beats you over the head. This is
a little bit preachy.
A little bit. And this was much better to put it in as part of the story and make it really organic, and to come out much more, I think, forceful, especially for kids that were maybe a little older. I don't think this was made for your littlest children, although I could be wrong. But I mean, the language, this is Edgar Rice Burroughs writing a whole dictionary for Tarzan, and they don't sugarcoat and explain the words. You got to pick it up as you go along. I love that.
I like that the curse word goes throughout. Cohoon, cohoon, and it's like, wait a second, what is this word? Like, at first I was just like, oh, just like my brain just let it go, and then I was like, they're cursing. That's the word. That's the surprise response of shit.
They're fracking us.
Right. I'm like, oh, cohoon. What is? I want to use that now. I'm going to be using that as a curse word now. Oh, cohoon. I'll be like, what did you say? What? Never heard that?
Well, so this show has everything in it that I love. It has classic cars, has high adventure, and it has dinosaurs. And this, as you said, Clyde, this was definitely not made for little kids. They did not water this down. They did not dumb it down. It has a very cinematic writing style. The music was so good. A blend of jazz and that cinematic, sweeping score. The characters had real stakes. There's one part here where Jack has been, like caught in a landslide because Hammer blew up the cliff face as they were herding those Macs. And look, we know as an audience that he's going to be alive under there, but we didn't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know for sure. So there was some weight, I felt like, to these stories and to these characters.
Oh, yeah.
And the animation was really solid quality.
Yes, it was.
And I have to say, even for like the time period, there were some moments with the details where I was like, okay, this is good. And I am really impressed. Like, I was like, oh, whoa, they had a mechanical bridge go down, and the way the mechanics moved underneath it was so smooth. But then the next second, the background is just like little shapes and far off colors. And I'm like, yep. It reminds you. It reminds you for a moment. You're like, ooh, and then you're like, oh yeah, I remember when this was.
Well, so most of this, it's either a jungle environment or a desert environment. So the desert environment is very, kind of stark.
Yes.
But then we have some of the grasslands, and they don't go over the top with the backdrops, but it's not impressionistic. Like Jackie Chan Adventures that you hated, Aubrey.
Wasn't that? It's not that bad. Yes, the detail is better than that in a lot of the pieces.
Well, and it depends on the perspective, how close or how far away you are, and that is how art and how our eye works. The further away we get from objects, the more our brain fills in the details for us. And we don't really see detail until we get close up. Like here, you see the detail in all of the rocks and the cliffs. And, with like in this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
In the foreground, we see the detail in the grass and the rock and, some of the trees. And then as you get into the, into the deep background, it becomes more just interpretive, impressionistic. And for me, I love that because that's how our brains work. That's how art works. So
I like that the grasses and the trees, all of that is a different shading. People's hair is not identical. You don't have it, but also it does harken back to some of the comics with the blue sheen and the black hair.
I love that.
Things like that that are kind of unmistakable for that time period. That of course went on, but also stopped in a lot of animations.
Well, so I'm just going to be upfront with you. One of the things, as a comic book artist myself, one of the things I struggle with is drawing hair.
Mm-hmm.
Hair is really tough for me. A lot of people have problems with hands. I have no problem with hands. It's hair. And I just watched this show and was blown away by how beautiful everybody's hair was. It was so masterfully done. And I know that seems like such a silly thing, but that's something I really noticed. And yeah. Anyway.
Now, did they ever describe in the show that, because you have a lot more information than we do, his symbol on his shirt? It seems like that would be the symbol of the old mechanics because it has a leaf, which signifies the respect of, respecting nature so that all of these reptiles have food, and the mechanic symbol with the gear, which kind of insinuates they were the old mechanics.
They didn't explain it, that I know, that I remember. But that's one of the great things about this show.
Yeah.
Is they didn't feed it to you with a spoon. Mm-hmm. You had to kind of interpret or figure it out yourself.
And it took me a while to figure out. It looked like that the tattoo on his arm was similar. Or did they ever?
Let's see.
Did they ever dwell on that?
Yeah, it looks like it might have something to do with it.
Yeah, let me see if I can get a clear shot of that.
And if there's anybody in the audience that knows,
Yeah,
we love your participation. So let us know if you know.
Yeah, it looks like it's very similar.
okay.
Now, this piece here you've got in front of us, Johnny. Is that a storyboard?
Yeah, it's a cell.
Okay, it is. Okay, yeah, because
nice.
I can see the numbers at the top and side, and I was like,
Yeah.
that is really clean with the characters.
Yeah, or it's original concept art, but I mean it's in the character models. Now, let's talk about the animation for a minute, because I mentioned how impressed I was with the animation, and once I went back and did the research, it all became clear why the animation was so good for Saturday morning show.
Okay.
This was produced by a studio called Nelvana, and Nelvana produced some of the greatest animation of the 80s and 90s. In particular, Clyde, maybe one of the best animated movies I've ever seen, Rock and Rule. Do you remember Rock and Rule?
I do. The Chanticleer and Pertolo
Yeah.
Parallel kind of, and analogous sort of movie. Yep.
Yeah, we'll need to bring that up on a future episode when we do Saturday matinee movies again. But
there you go.
Rock and Rule was gorgeous and one of the best animated movies of all time. And so once I saw that Nelvana Studios had done this, I knew, okay, well, that explains the quality. And to give you an idea, Aubrey, Nelvana was a Canadian studio, so all of the voice actors are Canadian.
Okay.
And it produced shows for Nickelodeon, like the Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Backyardigans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It did Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh, I love Strawberry Shortcake.
What else did they produce?
Did they do Beetlejuice? Cartoon?
They did a Beatles animated series.
Oh,
for the Yellow Submarine film.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's see, what else did they do? They did the animation for the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, by the way, Johnny, you were talking about the music score in this show. And the gentleman, John Tucker, who did the music, also did the music. If there's any fans of Angela Anaconda, which was a very interesting kids show, he did episodes of that. He did Sticking Around, Twilight Zone. He did scores for the Twilight Zone, and he was the composer for 1984's Bedroom Eyes. So yeah, few movies and another series later on. So. Yeah.
Well, and here we go. September 1989, ABC began to air Beetlejuice, a show produced by Nelvana based on the film by Tim Burton. They did Little Bear, The Magic School Bus, The Adventures of Tintin.
Okay, this explains so much now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Nelvana is like the unsung studio of 80s and 90s animation.
It really is. I'd like to hear us talk more about them. I was not aware.
Yeah, well, I've been a big fan of Nelvana's studio stuff for years. They also did Heavy Metal, the movie Heavy Metal.
No wonder I like them.
Yes.
Okay. That explains it.
Yeah. And you know, they did Droids and Ewoks, but that animation on Droids and Ewoks was a little bit clunky. No pun intended for the droids, but it comes around to let's see, this was Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was what, 91 on the TV show, I believe. Let's see, when 93. So by the time we came around to 93, Nelvana really pulled out all the stops on this and gave us some great adaptations of the original comic series and some great animation, some great stories that were not watered down for little kids. And I really feel like, Clyde, that what made this show so great was also its biggest weakness. Because it's a mashup of, classic cars, dinosaurs, high adventure. It's got political and ecological overtones. It's a
quite a stew.
Stew.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I will tell you, I said that I missed out on all of the different venues of it, although I was aware of them. I didn't dive into them. One of the things I do remember back in the day from the comic book on, I was like, what did Cadillacs got to do with dinosaurs? That doesn't make any sense. It's just hit that wall and just stumbling block that I didn't check it out. But for all the reasons that you have talked about with the art and the writing, and all of the different venues that it took, we hear a lot about things like Land of the Lost, how well written it was and how, creative and imaginative it is. This and Thundar the Barbarian, you mentioned that earlier, very similar kind of theme. This is as good as any of them. I agree. Yeah.
And the shame is that it only lasted 14 episodes and then ended, had no definitive end.
Just like the comic book. It's just, yeah. To have that many outlets and not catch on like other things like, the Ninja Turtles and some of the other, or Land of the Lost and Thundar, which weren't like maybe top of the line things, but remain very, very prominent in our memories. Childhood memories.
They are part of the cultural zeitgeist even today. Now, we can't talk about Cadillacs and Dinosaurs without talking about my favorite part. The toys.
Yay!
Oh my goodness.
This is another thing too that struck me. Mark Schultz, the guy that, is that right?
Mark Schultz, yeah.
The guy that wrote it and had the idea for it and everything. Because when I saw it, as looking at it now, as quite an aged grown up, I'm like, how did he get the licensing rights to use the name Cadillac? I think that's one of the big takeaways from this series is he actually secured the rights with Cadillac to use their brand name. That is amazing.
So there's something about that.
Okay.
There are certain brand names now that have become so much integrated into our cultural zeitgeist that they become public domain. Cadillac, Kleenex, Xerox.
I thought I read though that he actually contacted them and they gave him the green light, which
could be.
I think so, because I mean, as a Captain Action fan, I love licensing information about it. There's never been a toy that had more licensing.
That's a deep cut right there.
But in the 90s, to get Cadillac to go, okay, that's a coup. Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to the toys.
Yeah. So the action figures were produced by Tyco and Aubrey. These were limited articulation. So only the head, shoulders, and hips moved, which I love for 3 3/4 inch figures. That makes them sturdy.
Not bad. It makes it makes them sturdy.
And they look exactly like the cartoon models. I have all of them somewhere in storage. I couldn't find them before this episode, but what I do not have and what I desperately want, someone in our audience has this.
The car.
The car.
Oh my.
And this is a holy grail item for me. I think I would die and go to heaven if I got this. I don't ever remember seeing this on store shelves. The figures were everywhere, but some of the accessories and vehicles I don't remember ever seeing, like the Kentronosaurus with had a big hammer wig on him.
Yeah.
That is cute, actually. You brain
Yeah.
box. Aw.
And there were a bunch of other ones like that. Like there was a raptor glider. You had the treehouse fortress, Jack Tenrick's fortress garage, a triceratops that had a catapult on him. But
I love in the description of Hannah Dundee, it says scientist and diplomat.
Yes.
Specifically, they put that on the packaging.
Yeah. Well, that's how she introduces herself in the show.
Yeah. Well, actually, Henrik specifically introduced her that way. She said she called herself a diplomat first, and he said that he hated politicians, and then he's like, well, actually, I'm a scientist. And he's like, oh, those are worse. It's like, ooh.
That's
their banter back and forth is so much fun. It's not risque. It's not inappropriate for your audience, but it is so fun. Just like that, like you pointed out, every episode I've seen, there's at least one exchange between them that I get tickled at and giggle.
And it's
honestly, even the bad guys, the conversations are very logical. It's not like I'm going to rule the world. It's like, okay, so I want the citizens to vote for me, and this ecological weirdo is causing, insane ideas that you can, talk to dinosaurs.
That's her.
So,
that's her.
Yeah, she's like, come on, guys. Like, why are you listening to this mechanic that likes to talk to, dinosaurs? Really? This is where we're going to go. That's the logic. That's what she's thinking. And so it's really actually quite I was roped in. I'm going to say, this being on this show, Back of the Cereal Box podcast, has really ruined so many things for me, because my free time is taken up by so many old cartoons now that I did not appreciate or know about, or both. And now I have another one, because the woman is not lacking intelligence. There is a diverse cast of people from all ages and types of kind of people, and then dinosaurs are allowed to be buddies and pets. Like, I kept worrying that at any moment Tenrick's buddy, his little buddy dinosaur was going to eat somebody's face. I'm like, he's going to be too happy. He's going to be too upset. Somebody's going to die. But no, he's just like a really weird looking puppy. He's just so happy. So I don't know, but can we mention that if there are some true mechanical fans, a pink Cadillac dies in the second episode? So just so that you know,
well,
it explodes.
Tenrak had a whole fleet of Cadillacs.
He did. But he puts Toulouse in a pink Cadillac, and I'm like, is that a pink caddy? Is that a pink? he has an underground mechanics dream, area of all of these amazing cars, and he's got a pink caddy too. Okay, I'm watching now. I'm watching the pet dinosaur.
I told John that on the toy Cadillac, because it's a beautiful toy.
Yeah.
I looked up a YouTube video, and it's. I think that the fellow is from Quebec, the way he speaks, but he was actually showing all the things that it does. And it's a very well made, it rolls easily. It has he showed the launcher out of the back of a weapon to like a trunk. Yeah. Is it a net? Okay. Yeah. It's a net like trebuchet to just throw out there. And he was shooting off all of the different rockets and everything. And you would hear them in the background, bing, 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 as they're hitting the walls. And he's like, it shoots very hard. Yes, it does. He goes, as a child, I hurt my fingers on this. It hurt. But I just, I love that video and seeing, I mean, it's a beautiful toy to look at, but it also extremely functional, it looked like too. So,
and solid. Yeah, I want it. If anybody out there has it, please get it to me. Now, we talked about the video games. So we had the comic book, the video games, and then the cartoon series. And along with the cartoon series, as the toys start coming out, We got a role-playing game by GDW, the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs role-playing game.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Aubrey.
Oh my gosh, that's a racy side view. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, she is doing the Betty Page thing.
Is that
yeah?
Oh dear.
Definitely, Clyde. I feel like Hannah Dundee was inspired by Betty Page.
Oh yeah, I have no qualms that definitely went into the mixture of her.
Yeah,
her look.
Yeah, Mark Schultz and Dave Stevens. It's too bad we don't have a Rocketeer Cadillac Dinosaurs crossover. Ooh. With Betty meeting Hannah, and they're like looking in the mirror at each other. Wouldn't that be?
That would be great.
Aubrey, are you ready for this? Listen, you are not a true brand until you have your own chocolate bars.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, that was the chocolate bar?
Yes.
That was the wrapper of the. Okay, wait. The first one was not made for kids. That's not for kids.
Nope.
Well, she's fully covered.
Yeah. Yep.
I've seen worse, but yeah, it's a little bit racy. But
I don't know.
It's very beautiful artwork for a chocolate.
I mean, you're wearing that outfit right now.
Yes, but that chocolate bar wrapper would stay on my wall.
your midriff is hidden by the frame, but you're showing midriff this morning.
Yes. I walked away, and that's how it's gonna stay.
No. Let us see.
It's right. It's. I don't have her. I couldn't find her white pants.
Look at how gorgeous you are.
No, there we go.
I would sit across from a diplomatic table with your Hannah. I absolutely would.
Yeah. So we have so many comments about this.
Eli made a really good one earlier. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, the mayor looks like a cross between Granny Goodness and Magneto.
Oh, the Magneto part. She does have some muscles on her though.
Yeah. And Eli T. Cash says it's like a diesel punk Turok. You know?
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
Eco
I can
punk. That was my favorite comment Eli made.
Yeah, eco punk. Yeah.
Dude, all the way.
Yeah.
Right?
So Gatorade says, do these cars run on fossil fuels? Because if you think about it in that way, the dinosaurs are running alongside their ancestors.
Ouch.
And someone help remind me. Jack Tenerick called the circle of life I can never remember it, the mana something vitae. And it was this whole philosophy about honoring the circle of life. What
was the macho nate vitae?
Machinata vitae.
Mako nate vitae.
It gives you a lot of inference. Like you said, they don't really specify what happened to cause the downfall of mankind, except they had to go in caves underground for hundreds of years to survive.
Yeah.
But the inference is, because this is so important, that you have to be good stewards of nature or it'll come back to destroy you. And every step the mayor's taken normally invokes no, we can take a shortcut. It'll be fine. Now, she talks about fossil fuels.
That one governor, she does. Yep.
She talks about fossil fuels and stuff, but I'm not sure what the Cadillacs run on. So
yeah, because they have the mounted things with the hoses, and I think it's probably some other kind of fuel, but they never really go into it.
Did they ever
and
get
that's
in touch
okay.
with the Transformers? Because
Energon.
I feel like Energons are powering these cars. Let it be.
Hey, Hyperspace Heroes podcast is chiming in. Ooh. They're a great Star Wars podcast, by the way. And he says it's only missing some mullets for a rocking good time. Hold on.
Oh yeah, we got mullets.
Hold on, Brown Leader.
There's a mullet.
Part of those pretty hairdos that John talked about.
Yeah. So hold on. I'm gonna find. Here we go with Hammer.
Yep,
Hammer is rocking the mullet.
Hammer with his 80s rocker / badass / wrestler moves and outfit.
Business on top, party in the back.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have here?
He's actually kind of got the crew cut mullet.
I
Yeah.
know. I know.
Yeah.
It's like,
You gotta be a bad guy to do that.
Yeah. Like that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Taiwan Bing is joining us and just says nice. Thank you, Taiwan. And let's see. Oh, Eli T. Cash. Jack, I literally have a massive crossbow.
Well, that's how Hannah Dundee took out Mr. Tenrick's car, was her massive crossbow.
That's how they meet. And that's why Jack is jacking up the car to put on a new tire. Because
he's doing that. She says, and why am I doing all the work? I was like, wait, what just happened? we went from 25-year blah blah blah, I'm a diplomat and a scientist, to why am I putting a tire on a car? Whoa there for just a second.
Oh, hey, we have an answer to your question about the Cadillac licensing, Clyde.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hyperspace Heroes podcast says Lexus, Acura, and Infiniti were cutting into Cadillac sales in the early 90s due to a decrease in quality of GM products during the 80s going into the 90s. So Cadillac giving approval equals marketing.
There you go. Thank you for that answer. That's just good awesome.
News.
Yeah. Hey, Ben Grimm is joining us. He says, what car would you want in a dino-based post-apocalyptic universe? And I would say a 50s or 60s Cadillac, because they are built like tanks.
Really?
Listen, that's all we drove when I was a kid. My parents, that's all they bought were Cadillacs. And they were built like Sherman tanks. They were awesome cars.
I would say because my family did the Ford LTD. Now they're lower to the ground. They wouldn't be great for all kinds of terrain. But if you just want something that'll stand up to, you can put a bowling alley in the trunk, and it stand up to just any kind of any sort of high impact being treaded on by a Tyrannosaurus or anything. The LTD would probably be okay for that.
So I was driving my parents' Cadillac Coupe de Ville, 1980 Coupe de Ville. And it was wintertime, and I would do this thing with my friends riding in the car where I would intentionally, because the roads in northeastern Ohio are always covered in ice. You know how it gets here in Middle Tennessee, Aubrey, in the winter? That's how it is for 6 months in Ohio. So I would be driving along, and I would just turn the wheel real hard and spin out intentionally. Well, there was one time I was in the Coupe de Ville, and I did that, and I lost control. And I slammed into, I went into a neighbor's yard, and I slammed into this giant boulder. And I'm talking, this must have been a 2 or 3 ton boulder, huge boulder. I mean, it was giant. And I moved it 5 feet in the car and didn't put a scratch on the bumper. That's how tough these Cadillacs were. Yeah. Ben Grimm says, I'd take the A-Team van. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, I have to admit that if I'm chiming in here, one of the most exciting things I ever saw when I was younger, not many people might know this, but I like racing a little bit. I do like cars, but I do not have a memory for a list of the amazing cars that are out there. For some reason, I do for fashion, but that's beside the point. But I definitely have always loved cars. I love motorcycles, and I was the little girl in the little dress under the age of 10, sitting with headphones on, listening and watching demolition derbies and races, like as a little girl. So one of my favorite things was seeing weird vehicles that would join the demolition derbies and the races. And I remember, I don't know what it was. I think it was just for a sidecar funny thing or whatever. But I saw someone roll in a Jeep that they had thrown together, and the frame didn't bend. The person was safe. So whatever Jeep brand that was, if we're going post-apocalyptic, I can turn it into a tent and sleep in it. I can haul things in it. I'm like going for that with a trailer hitch on it.
See, I would think a four-wheel drive or a Jeep kind of thing would be good, except I saw Jurassic Park. It's not a great, it doesn't stand up to dinosaur attack very well. So, anyway.
Dave Mattingly says Aubrey wanted to grow up to be Pinky Tuscadero.
Okay. Now I have to Google.
From Greece.
Oh.
Dropping the flag for the race and going to the demolition derby.
Okay, I can't lie. That would be pretty fun. I would enjoy that. Also, if I get to make sure that final finish, I want to know who's winning.
What was Fonzie's girlfriend? What was her name?
Oh, that was Pinky Tuscadero. I'm sorry. Not from Greece, from Happy Days. You're right. Thank you, Clyde.
Yeah. She was the Fonz's
and
girlfriend.
Dave just corrected me. From Happy Days, not Greece.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, she was the Fonz's girlfriend. Yeah. I was thinking of who's the character that from Greece that was she. Oh, why can't I remember her name?
I could see her face.
Beauty school dropout. No graduation day for you. Singing about her because she was the tough girl.
What's really really funny is that girl
Rizzo from Greece.
Rizzo. Oh, you were thinking of Rizzo?
Yeah.
Oh, I was not that tough girl. I was the one who was the beauty school dropout.
Well, that was Rizzo.
Wait.
She was the tough girl. She couldn't cut it in beauty school. She dropped out.
No.
Because she was a
totally different girl. Rizzo was the one who was almost pregnant.
Oh, Dee Dee was the dropout.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to get him.
It's been 40 years since I've seen that movie.
Whoa. Okay. So he's up to date on Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, but Grease is another story for John.
I've only seen it one time.
What?
Mm-hmm.
One time.
It's a musical.
I know. I'm
not going to lie. My stepmother adored Grease. So I know
have the record.
Every word of that movie.
I have the record. I have the soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, okay.
I know the songs.
Okay,
yeah.
The songs. But the movie, no? Not so much.
Those magic changes.
As somebody who's a performer and loves
melody.
music, we're going to have to talk one day about your favorite musical. Not today, but,
Anyway, yes, we shall. And Rizzo was played by Stockard Channing.
Ooh,
yes.
Powerhouse, an acting powerhouse, that woman. Just
yes.
Say, Stockard. Huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave Mattingly says Stockard Channing was an early crush for him.
Oh,
yeah.
We could talk about Grease on another day, but
yes.
Speaking of Grease, Cadillacs herding cattle might leak a lot of grease.
Right.
I love this episode. This was my favorite. But wait, final thoughts about Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Yes, Aubrey.
Okay, I'll start and let the save the best for last with Clyde or Johnny.
Sure.
I will say that if you like Kim Possible, I don't know if anybody remembers that cartoon. Miss Hannah Dundee reminds me a little of that Sassy Pants, except she's a good character. But
that's a good comparison. So Betty Page meets Kim Possible.
Yeah.
Meets Shigo from Kim Possible. She's got sass. She's got brains. She's got dark hair. She's got that black upper lip that's almost disappearing sometimes for some reason.
Yeah.
But it's there. I believe those two people together would make this character, Hannah Dundee, diplomat, scientist. I love the character, but I also love the idea of these old mechanics. Like, I want to know more. As someone who didn't watch this ever before, these two episodes, I will say I need more Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. I never thought I would say that. I was really, not gonna lie, I was rolling my eyes, guys, when I was like, this is gonna be one of the stupidest cartoons I've. No, it's not. Okay. And as someone who cosplays Poison Ivy because I love the respect of Mother Earth and our eco home that we have, this also portrays a lot of that, which I love. You know, the fighting for our environment and fighting to work with our environment, you know, to keep it going so that we can keep going. And the idea that this person who is not female, who is not got anything super invested for whatever, you know, biological hero reasons that I know of yet, for some reason he is being led from the inside and outside to protect these dinosaurs, to value them, to value our ecosystem, and to make it a driving force for him so much that he's willing to involve himself in politics in other places to save the human race and these dinosaurs. So I'm fully invested now. It's not unfortunate. I'm not sad for myself. I am ready to go. I'm not a huge car fan. I'm not a huge dinosaur fan, but I am in it to win it with this one. I want to know.
And there's only 13 episodes, so it's not a huge investment. And Aubrey, can I just say, as a cosplayer, if you go to a con cosplaying Hannah Dundee, you will get more attention than you ever do as Poison Ivy, because people who know this IP will lose their stuff when
there
they
you
see
go, guys. We need to start cosplaying these characters. I want to see the character, the male character, Tenric. I want to see him cosplay. Like, I want to see that tattoo with his cut-off shirt. I want to see Hammer with his hair. Somebody bring out that mullet, please. And if I don't see a buff granny telling people what to do, oh my, come on. These characters, if they don't relive this in character as a show and make it something the fans can watch, then cosplayers, yes, come out and start dressing like Cadillacs and dinosaurs. If you guys do that, I will come out in the black wig. I don't wear it often, but I will do it. I'll even maybe do some midriff in public.
And Dave Mattingly says, Aubrey, I'll cosplay a T-Rex and chase you around.
I love T-Rexes. Okay, we're on.
And Clyde, you've been to enough conventions to know what I'm saying is true.
It is true. Now you may have fewer people that will recognize you, but the ones that do will it'll make their day when they see a character that they love and have not seen cosplayed before or very often. When you do that, they make up for the lack of numbers in their love for what you've done. Yeah, absolutely.
So before we get your final thoughts on this episode and go to new loot, prizes from the cereal box, Cade Hawkins says 13-episode cartoons can totally surprise you with their writing and characters. I've been impressed with them on more than one occasion. Yes.
Well said. Well said.
So final thoughts, Clyde, about Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
If you like the adventures of Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, and especially things like The Land That Time Forgot with Edgar Rice Burroughs, this is a great updating of those kind of fanciful and creative works. As I said earlier in the show, I would put the writing of this show up against Land of the Lost, the Star Trek animated series, the Thundarr the Barbarian for a similar themed show, and it's all of the attention to detail, from the artwork, which is beautiful, down to the dialogue, which is zippy and witty. And like I said, every episode has at least one bit that makes me giggle even today. So it's aged quite well. Here's the problem that I have. I have a grandson that loves dinosaurs. He is 5, but he reads at about a 7 or 8 level. He's very smart. I desperately want to introduce him to this world, but I'm afraid he's not quite old enough to grasp it enough, and that he'll be turned off by it. If it's a matter of timing, but I look so forward to showing him this and see if it will resonate with him as a young person. I think it will. So that's
Yeah.
if that's the case, that makes my case for this
Now,
show. And why it deserves to be remembered.
Is he one of those kind of kids that will be upset that they don't call the dinosaurs by their actual names?
He can name 99% of dinosaurs if I show him a picture. It might may not set well with him. That's what I mean. He needs to be a little older to understand that they're calling it something else. Yeah.
Wait. No. Even as an adult, I argue with the cartoons. That's not what they're called.
Well, when you've lost history, you've lost literature, you're going to make up new names. But
true.
Clyde, it is time for prizes from the cereal box, aka new loot. And this is brought to us by our partner, Entertainment Earth, for all of your action figure and collectible needs. And also brought to you by our new partner, New South Pro Wrestling. We are going to be partnering with them on their geek-themed wrestling events coming up at Comic-Con. They're doing an anime-themed wrestling show. And then in November, their Star Wars-themed wrestling show. And we will be there live. But, Aubrey, I have something very special to share from the cereal box. Now, we went to Imaginarium last weekend. And we haven't really talked about this, but what did you think about Imaginarium?
Oh my gosh, I met so many great people. I had so much fun, and it really inspired me to get back to my writing. I don't talk about it on here, but I started writing at 7 years old. So the fact that I still have stories and I submitted things years and years ago, and I gave up on that through my adulthood, and it really rejuvenated that. So I'm looking forward to next year, and I'm already writing again.
Very good. Very good. So in that vein, I got a bunch of goodies from Imaginarium. Dave Mattingly gifted me with some amazing stuff. And I picked up some cool stuff from the con floor, and other people shared some stuff with me. But the thing that I came away from Imaginarium with that I'm most excited about, we're going to reach into the cereal box and pull out this prize. You've seen the image for weeks, but this is the actual physical book, Volume 3 of the Tales of the Decoverse series, Rise of the Impossibilists. And this is the latest edition in my book series. It's a series of 3 novellas. And so it's a quick read and one sitting. And you know what? You can get an autographed copy directly from me just by shooting us a DM and $10 via Venmo, and it'll be autographed. It's normally $12.95 on Amazon, but $10 if you buy it directly from me. And I was super excited to have this finally in my hands. It came out the Wednesday before Imaginarium. My publisher puts on Imaginarium, and I said, you know what? Just hold them until I get there. And so this is what I am most excited about this week from the cereal box. Ta-da! Aubrey?
Yay!
Aubrey, what do you have from your cereal box this morning?
Okay, well, I don't know if everybody has paid attention to my backdrops since I've started a year ago, but they changed every single weekend. I rarely repeat my backdrops. This is another new one that I just got not that long ago. So yes, I have a lot of investment in my backdrops, but I didn't want to reuse my dinosaur backdrop because I've used it at least 3 times. If you've been watching, maybe you can remind me. I believe it's 3 times, at least 2, if not 3 in the year. So I had to do something different. And then I found these. So if you go to your local Dollar Tree, you too can spend too much money. Because what I found was all these little baby dinosaurs.
Oh.
And I got in trouble because I wanted to get them all. So I did. So one at a time. in the proper name for your grandson. We have Tyrannosaurus Rex. These are all from, as you can see, Jurassic World. And come on, this is actually some worthy toys. I'm trying to get my camera to not focus on me, but on the dinosaur. It's like, no, the face. Go in the face. And then Stegosaurus. And these actually come with bases. So you could take them out if you wanted to, if you were one of those people like Johnny that likes to take things out of the packages. The Pyroraptor. And needless to say, I got every single one I could. So I think Clyde, my favorite are these two.
So Clyde, if you have not learned this about Aubrey, she has zero self-control when it comes to things like this.
Well, we were talking about grandkids. So my grandson doesn't have any dinosaurs.
There you go.
Until now. Guess what's going to be in his stocking for Christmas? His first collection of little dinosaurs that his little hands can play with and not hopefully swallow. They're bigger, so they won't be swallowable. But just in case my daughter is wondering, I am not sorry. It's your turn.
Clyde,
aren't they cute? Go to Dollar Tree and sell them out. Oh my goodness, I know.
Clyde, what is in your what is your prize from the cereal box this morning? Anything?
Well, yeah. My daughter for Father's Day asked me what I wanted, and I said I gave her some things. It seems like a lot of the stuff that has been expensive has become some of the things like cereal box prizes or premium things have become more affordable here lately. And so I gave her some suggestions. One of my friends years ago, he is the true senior elder statesman of geekery that I know, because he's in his late 80s, and he gifted me with a his childhood book of Captain Midnight. Now, that's a little before my time, but I appreciate Captain Midnight. I know a little bit about him, but he had this as a child, and he gifted it to me. And I have wanted, ever since he did, to have some of the Captain Midnight premium items. And so my daughter gifted me
a decoder badge.
A decoder badge. This was part of Ovaltine, just like, they talk about Little Orphan Annie and Ovaltine. This was the same kind of a premium. These Ovaltine took orders for them, and then it's 1941. They suddenly ran short of metal to make them, and so they had to send out apology letters because the war descended on in the year after they came out, so they couldn't continue to make them. So pretty rare.
So that is metal.
It is metal. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, but it's your decoder. It's got the code word on there to remember your password, to remember how to tell you how to get the message to drink your Ovaltine. And then, as kind of a bonus, from 1940. Now, this was part of Skelly Gas and the radio program. If you listened on the radio and you sent in, they would send you what they called it's a spinner token, and you could
cool.
You could wear it like it's got a little hole, so you could put it on a chain if you wanted. But and it has the hour of midnight there, and it's also metal, but these are in really, really nice shape. You can tell there's no.
It says spinner. Does that mean that there's something to do with the middle of it that you would actually?
It has a little raised surface. You can spin it, yeah, but it's also got coating around the outside, so you can also get messages with it too. So it's its own kind of decoder also. So.
I love that. That is so neat.
That is awesome. Speaking of Captain Midnight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. This is on my desk. Yeah. Love Captain Midnight. Oh, Aubrey, I forgot. We had a special guest that was going to join us, and he's just shown up in the studio. Say hello to my little friend. Aubrey, give me a kiss, baby. I want to pop you like a chicken bone.
Pet dinosaur.
I saw your cameo in Jurassic World. I loved it. It was great.
I never got the royalties for that.
I mean, Hannah is single, technically.
Anyway, that is our show for this week. I am Dave Mattingly says that puppet makes me feel dinosaur. That's fantastic. A lot of additional comments. You guys continue to comment on Facebook. Give us thumbs up, hearts, likes. Several of you have done that already. That helps us out a lot. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and share it. If you're listening on an audio platform like Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, give us a 5-star review, make it good, and share these episodes with your, with 200-300 of your closest friends and family. If you really love what we do, become a supporter at patreon.com. The banner is running down below, but just in case it's too subtle, patreon.com/cerealboxpodcast. $1 is all we ask. If you want to donate more, that would be great. And let me see if I'm missing anything else before we go. Well, I think that wraps us up. So with that, you can follow Aubrey at Miss Kindred Ivy on Instagram. Clyde is on amazon.com/stores/Clyde Hall/author. Just do a search for Clyde Hall author, and you'll find him on Amazon. And of course, you can find me at johnnybeyond.com and do all of the things: love, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ta-da! Well, until the next time, friends and foes, Cereal Box Super Friends, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the back of the cereal box. Ta-da!
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss,